This is Part 2, Episode 250. Under the night sky, that creature walked over step by step, its figure tall and slender. However, its true appearance couldn't be seen, everything around its body covered by black jade-like black gold armor. The ice-cold metal armor flickered with luster, the dark light sparkling, giving one a type of malevolent feeling. This figure was mysterious, because its true appearance couldn't be seen, and it also came from a different place. So it couldn't avoid being the center of attention even if it didn't want to. As it approached Heavenly Deity Institution, all eyes were cast over. During this process, the darkness immortal gold armor on its body shone, great Tao symbols continuously flickering about, inspecting this world's various natural laws. Are you trying to provoke us? Trying to understand the circumstances here, and then bring back information, so it will be easier for you all to unleash war against us? An elder from Heavenly Deity Institution said. It is an emissary, merely here to send a message. You all are overthinking things. That enormous three-headed king above the massive altar spoke. Its body really was giant, covering the moon and stars, too large. This was its voice, rumbling like thunder, frightening everyone. Hand over the letter. An elder spoke. After learning that the three-headed king was only a void projection, and not the true body, the elders released a sigh. Otherwise, who knew how many people would die today? The darkness immortal gold armor flickered with brilliance. This person walked up silently, and with a chong sound, a jade book flew out from its armor, entering an elder's hands. Heavenly Deity Institution's elders all huddled together to read the letter together. They immediately frowned, all of them revealing angry expressions. Advising us to surrender, why not just directly tell us to kill ourselves instead? Fourth elder laughed coldly. It has been written in the letter that you all can be granted the undying. In the distance, golden light swirled about. The enormous spider body moved, incomparably sinister and frightening. The golden three-headed king was too terrifying. Even though it was just a void figure, it was still not something an ordinary person could deal with. What a joke, grant us the undying. How many creatures are there in this world who can truly not die? There are still a few ancestors who crossed over back then that are still live, but can they stop time? The Academy's fifth elder directly criticized. They are all alive. The heroic ancestors who came to this world to fight have not aged, how could time harm them? It's already been said that they are undying. The golden three-headed king corrected sternly. When they heard these words, those present all gasped, feeling a deep wave of powerlessness. Perhaps there is no need to even resist. The conclusion had long been set in stone. There is no need to feel discouraged. If they were powerful enough, they would have arrived a long time ago. Why would there be a need to scheme and do things in such a roundabout manner? Second elder, who hadn't appeared for a long time, spoke, encouraging the Academy's disciples. That makes sense as well. Telling us those few individuals are still alive is nothing more than intimidation. Cao Yusheng said. A group of people spoke up in agreement. We are willing to establish a divine country, allowing everyone to transcend, all become undying, help everyone in this world. The three-headed king said. Really speaking words that sound better than singing. Second elder mocked. What needs to be said we already wrote down in that letter. The project to help everyone pursue the undying is also included, you all should carefully read it. The three-headed king said. The entire world undying, are you delirious? An elder couldn't help but laugh coldly. This was too ridiculous. Perhaps there are some in this world who have spread falsehoods about us, saying we are endlessly vicious, our evil crimes overflowing into the heavens, but these things are not true. The three-headed king said. Everyone was stunned. Just what kind of letter did he give the Academy's elders? Was it saying that the foreign creatures were extremely gentle and kind? This was too absurd. In everyone's memories, the foreign creatures were always wicked beyond redemption in the bone books. Now, the foreign three-headed king actually did this type of thing. Cease your nonsense. You all only wish to see how the world is now. What is the point of bringing up all of this nonsensical talk? Third elder was extremely severe. He stared straight at the emissary before him, but no matter how he tried, he couldn't see through this individual, unable to see its age, sex, or other things. Hong. Heavenly Deity Institution's fifth elder took action, reaching a hand over towards the creature in the dark armor, wishing to imprison its primordial spirit and prevent it from committing suicide. He didn't hold back at all. If not for the darkness immortal gold armor previously being refined by an exceptional individual, engraving mysterious patterns, it would have definitely been difficult for this person to escape disaster. Ding. Despite this being the case, there was no way this creature wouldn't be injured. Fifth Elder's hand made contact with that black armor. It was as if he was striking against metal, the noise loud and clear. That was the sound of immortal gold, providing some cushioning, stopping the divine force. It made one's mind tremble greatly. You want to kill it? The golden three-headed king's voice sounded. Don't think that I don't know what you all are waiting for. Isn't it nothing more than to use this person to probe the world's natural laws and restrictions? You should cease your delusions. Fifth Elder shouted. At the same time, this time, he used his true cultivation, operating divine force, preparing to capture that creature covered in darkness immortal gold armor. If we discuss the undying, you all do not believe. Right now, there is an extremely unordinary person standing before your eyes, yet you all do not recognize them, or perhaps you all have long forgotten. The three-headed king said. Everyone was shocked. What was he implying? These words could easily produce misunderstandings. Moreover, at this moment, three-headed king took action. Kai. Spider silk poured down like a waterfall, descending from the starry sky, sparkling and brilliant, making those who saw it feel alarmed. That was clearly a large mutated spider, right now spewing out silk to form a web. Even though it had 3 heads, this was still how it attacked. The spider silk wrapped around that emissary, moreover stopping Heavenly Deity Academy's 5th elder. The 3-headed king was merely a void figure, yet it could take action itself, a streak of divine light rushing over. Under King Cheong sounds, the 3-headed king chanted an incantation. Some areas of the armor made from darkness immortal gold shone, opening up. Then, with a light pu sound, the emissary was injured. Why is he injuring someone from his own side, a madman? Someone cried out. Yi, why is there golden liquid dispersing into that emissary's surroundings? Some strange events that were strange and sinister looking happened, drawing many people's attention. That's blood, golden blood. Heavens, what kind of creature is this? A few people cried out in alarm. The blood was too pure and holy, extremely beautiful, not carrying any bloody odor, but instead an indescribable aura. This place erupted. There might be some species whose blood carried golden light, but it was definitely different from what they were seeing. It was just too divine and beautiful. It was clearly a type of blood, but it still drew everyone's attention, truly not simple. Why is there golden divine blood flowing? What kind of origin does it have? The 3-headed king is clearly implying something. What exactly is going on? The disciples from the academy didn't understand, all of them revealing expressions of doubt. However, the expressions of the most powerful elders in the academy all changed, including 5th elders. He immediately stopped, no longer rashly provoking the other side. It is that type of blood, there is no mistake. I never expected this type of blood can still reappear in this world after endless time has passed, not being severed. It truly is good news that makes one excited and moved. Heavenly deity institutions elders were speaking, their fingers shaking slightly, feeling extremely shocked, all of them extremely moved. Ha ha, there was someone still seems to remember that this type of blood exists in this world. The three-headed king laughed loudly. Can seniors tell us what is going on? Someone from the academy asked. He is a descendant of a protector. Only the blood of the people of this bloodline is this sacred, a golden color. Second elder replied. Everyone gasped, this person was a protector's descendant. What era was that person from? Even though they had long guessed, they still wanted to obtain verification. Immortal ancient great era. They did too many things, protecting this world, even though their family is small in number, they continuously fought, stopping the foreign enemies, only, this clan's people all died in battle, all light fading. This family defended this world, establishing endless great service, this clan becoming known as protectors. Even though their members were few, the number countable on a single hand, they possessed distinctive traits. When they were injured, what flowed out would be golden blood, holy and untainted. This clan was ancient to the point where it could be traced back to the most ancient era. Everyone had thought that this clan had been completely wiped out, the few that were left also dying in battle, not leaving behind any descendants. They never expected the three-headed king to bring back someone who had golden blood flowing through its body. It was rumored that the reason why this race was so powerful was precisely because the golden blood within them provided them with unmatched strength. This is a descendant of the protectors. How can this person be in your world? At this moment, even the great elder was shaken up, unable to sit still any longer. They couldn't let the protectors go extinct, because they established unmatched merit in the past, so they couldn't allow their descendants to be wiped out, or else that would be too cruel. What is your intention? Fourth elder shouted, not understanding why the three-headed king would bring this kind of important individual. Now that the protectors hadn't completely died out, they had to shelter this person. For this world, the protectors had previously paid too much. We researched for a long time. The so-called unmatched bloodline, most powerful blood, the color can also change. We brought it back this time to let you all have a look. The golden blood was extremely brilliant and dazzling as it landed on the ground, drawing everyone's attention, the words spoken even more shocking. The three-headed king injured someone here, displaying this person's blood. What was the purpose behind this? The black gold armor shone, covering that person again. That injury wasn't serious, just a bit of superficial injury. Several dozen drops of golden blood trickled out, but it didn't affect this person too much. What is your true intention? Heavenly Deity Institution's fifth elder asked. Was the three-headed king trying to blackmail them, knowing that they couldn't allow the protector's descendants to die, using this to make unreasonable demands? Otherwise, why would he bring this person here? Look, the blood is becoming a black color. The three-headed king said, the enormous spider body even more majestic and imposing than a great mountain, as it rested above the altar. It activated divine force, releasing a dazzling light that continuously pressed forward. An intangible force surrounded the golden blood that scattered in the void, crushing it. As it took action, the golden blood exploded, turning into mist. It was still golden, brilliant and resplendent, as if flowing light streaked across the sky. Then, the three-headed king's domineering power suppressed and refined it. The golden blood mist changed, now possessing a bit of malevolent energy, a mysterious fluctuation rippling through it. Everyone became stupefied. This was just a portion of blood, so the most powerful individuals could directly refine it, but why was it continuously changing, not being destroyed? The golden blood possessed a type of spirituality, even more so a type of tenacious vitality. The more it was suppressed, the clearer the great changes became. Eventually, even the three-headed king used all of his strength, severing the void, producing a heaven and earth furnace, truly forming a simple and unadorned stove, refining the blood there. Forget about the academy's students, even the heads of the elders here shivered inwardly. What kind of expert was the three-headed king? Even if his true body couldn't cross over, it was still unimaginable. Right now, he actually used its greatest strength, but couldn't truly erase the golden liquid. Some of the golden blood became dim. It first evaporated, leaving behind a golden substance, and then became ashes. However, there was a bit of golden blood that didn't go out the entire time, still struggling and moving about. This was extremely strange. It was just a type of blood, so how could it do this? Suddenly, many people became shocked. Heavenly deity institutions' elders' expressions even more so changed, their pupils quickly contracting. That strand of bloody wisp became black, no longer golden, but instead dark like ink. The changes were just too great, the contrast between the former and latter too great. What was the reason behind this? What was going on? It left all of them greatly puzzled. In the beginning, the golden liquid was sparkling and brilliant, having a type of sacred aura. Calling it holy blood wasn't too far-fetched. It truly was strange, pure and possessing divine power. Yet now, it was terrifyingly black, incredibly strange, lacking divinity. This was a type of power that made one shiver inwardly, simply like the blood of devils. Why was there this type of transformation? Everyone was confused. The three-headed king said with a profound voice, "Do you all see? Your so-called protectors are known to have the most divine blood, unmatched bodies, but what are they truly like? If they are continuously suppressed, in the end, a shocking truth will be restored. The blood isn't divine at all, the so-called gold is merely a front, its true nature is dangerous, frightening, the blood possessing some terrifying secrets. You definitely did something." Heavenly deity institutions' fourth elder said, not believing the truth he was talking about. "I am nothing more than a void figure right now, only using some pure force. What methods are there? All I did was suppress the blood, but the truth was fully displayed." The three-headed king said. "What are you trying to say?" An elder said angrily. "What I want to say is that even though you all are born in this world, what you understand might not be as much as us, even your protectors having secrets, hiding many strange things, so one can see just how complex and dangerous this world is." The three-headed king said. "So what? What can the color of blood represent?" Heavenly deity institutions' elders remained unmoved. "How can it be meaningless? When the golden blood completely flows, it is extremely auspicious, the power incredibly divine. However, when the blood becomes black, only a type of violent, vicious energy is left, addicted to killing, could be said to be completely opposite. Do you all feel that a creature having two types of blood is normal? It is nothing more than a facade. The so-called protectors, their origins are extremely great, likely surpassing your imaginations. Absolute nonsense. Heavenly deity institutions people obviously rejected this. This is the truth. The so-called protectors' blood is originally black, merely hiding their true selves. It is just like your world, far more complex than what you all see. There is a hand guiding, leading you all. Perhaps it can be said that the so-called protectors, the creatures with golden blood, are the ones who are most dangerous for you all." The three-headed king spoke these words. In the crowd, Shahal thought to himself, finding it difficult to calm down. He understood well that after the foreign creatures won, they didn't stay too long on this side of the world, ultimately withdrawing. This was a mystery. At the very least, for his current self and a lot of others, they still didn't know the truth. Could it be that it was related to what the three-headed king was saying? There were definitely some hidden secrets. "You should cease trying to sow dissension between us," an elder said angrily. "If you all don't believe, then that's that. You all will understand sooner or later. Wu, since we are on this topic, you all can go and seek verification. We have previously dug up some burial earth in Origin ancient mine, and there was black blood that flowed out. The three-headed king spoke in a voice that wasn't rushed or too slow. This world of yours is extremely complex. We aren't scared, but you all however, heh. The three-headed king laughed coldly. It went without saying that he looked down on the creatures of this world. If you have something to say, then say it all. Third elder lashed out. Just wait for us to descend, that day isn't too far off. This time, we will sweep through all obstacles. What ancient mine, what immortal abyss, what skyland. They will all be flattened, as well as the ones behind them. When he spoke up to here, he stopped, no longer continuing. All bluffs, purposely speaking randomly. Second elder said, denouncing him for speaking nonsense. It was because regardless of whether this was real or fake, he had to reject it, or else the effects would be too great, easily shattering the confidence of the Academy's disciples. Right now, these elders felt a bit of regret. They shouldn't have spoken to the three-headed king straight on like this, better to privately discuss things, because this public conversation could easily affect some people's convictions. The so-called undying also have a time limit. Your ancient ancestors and others will fall in the end. If you all dare appear in our world again, it'll be difficult for you all to escape death. A newly promoted elder said. These words made the three-headed king laugh loudly. Truly childish and hilarious. Why would they be called undying? It is because they are creatures that remain imperishable throughout eternity, able to kill even immortals, winning against all enemies in immortal ancient great era. You think their Tao foundation can be shaken with just your few words. When he spoke up to here, the three-headed king transmitted sound to everyone, saying, the great chaos is about to arrive. Those who do not wish to die and want to enjoy the undying, you may choose to bow down to my world's great ones. Soon afterwards, our divine projections will appear in this world, so you all may build temples to consecrate them. Hong. The Academy's elders took action together, activating the 10 realms diagram, suppressing towards the altar, not allowing him to continue speaking. At the same time, the 9 phoenix furnace was also activated, fiery red like blood diamond, producing heaven overflowing flames as it blasted forward. Wu, sending me off like this. There is no need to be so polite. I believe we will truly meet soon, and not while separated by 2 realms. The three-headed king wasn't angered. His figure grew dim, gradually fading away. As a result, that altar collapsed to pieces, unable to maintain its stability anymore. At the same time, everyone's eyes released divine light, because that individual in the darkness immortal gold armor didn't leave, left over there. Fourth elder and fifth elder personally walked up, stopping this individual here, now allowing this person to leave. This is my gift for you all, unmatched blood, powerful body, the so-called protector's great secrets. I hope you all can understand through his descendant, figure out the truth, what the black blood really represents. The three-headed king's final words sounded, and then he completely disappeared. We need to be careful, the foreign creatures are the most vicious. There is no way he is helping us with good intentions. Third elder reminded. Heaven and earth became calm, everyone staring at that tall and slender figure in immortal gold armor. The three-headed king left, leaving it here. Everyone believed that this person definitely possessed great secrets. Capture and bring this person back to the academy. Second elder ordered. Even if this was the descendant of their protectors, they still definitely wouldn't act too politely right now. The 2 elders personally took action, using great magical force to suppress this creature, using an incredibly precious divine chain to lock up its body, firmly shackling it up. No one dared to act carelessly, because this was a creature from a foreign land. Even though the three-headed king said that it was the descendant of the protectors, a young individual, heaven knew what exactly was going on. Bring this person back to the academy. Second elder waved his hand, and then a few people brought this person back. Everyone was greatly shaken up by the developments. All of them saw this scene. News traveled quickly, heavenly deity institution becoming greatly shocked. A great commotion immediately produced. The appearance of the three-headed king shocked everyone. Now, even some of those who were cultivating in seclusion emerged. When they learned that a mysterious creature was captured, all of them became stupefied. After endless years had passed, just how many foreign creatures could they see? Heavenly deity institution became full of commotion, everyone swarming over to a majestic and imposing giant mountain. A vast and grand copper building complex rested on it. Many of them wanted to ascend the mountain and accompany the elders in questioning that creature. However, there weren't too many chances. There was no way all of them could go up. So the students paced about restlessly at the foot of the mountain. The news were just too shocking. The golden blood of the descendant of immortal ancient great era protectors could turn black, divine and horror coexisting. All of this was previously unknown. It was easy to see that three-headed king's words left a deep impression in everyone's minds, all of them wishing to find out what exactly happened. Shahal had the fortune of ascending this imposing divine mountain. Purple energy rose into the air, medicinal herbs covering this place, as well as dwellings built from spiritual caves. On the mountaintop, the bronze structure carried rust stains, mottled by time. It looked like a relic of time, recording the changes of history, recounting the events of the past. Apart from Shahal, there was also his servant Mo Dao. In reality, the reason why Shahal could come was also because he borrowed Mo Dao's limelight. It was because he came from the other side, so many elders hoped that he could come and identify the captive. Inside the grand palace, immortal energy was everywhere. Even though it was thin, it fully displayed how holy and extraordinary this place was. Only the most exceptional individuals could sit here. There were more than 10 praying mats, figures seated on them one after another, all of them indistinct, as if they were ancient figures that were being consecrated within a temple. These were heavenly deity institutions' elders. Normally, there was no way so many of them would appear at the same time. There weren't this many even when Mo Dao was brought back. The main reason was because the events this time concerned too much. The descendant of the protectors appeared, preventing these people from remaining calm. All of them wanted to know what exactly was going on. Mo Dao, have you seen this person before? An elder said, mists curling about him, figure dignified. Even though his true body couldn't be seen, extremely blurry, one could still sense how serious he was. Dressed in immortal gold armor, even the true unmatched emperor clans are nothing more than this, to the extent where they might not even be this extravagant. I have never met this person before. Mo Dao was rather cooperative, replying like this. In the palace, that individual stood up. Its body was wrapped tightly in divine chains, but it didn't suffer any punishment, not being treated harshly. In reality, if not for the misgivings the elders felt, it would have definitely been treated with the greatest courtesy. In the 9 heavens 10 earths, the protector's bloodline was worthy of respect. Remove the immortal gold battle armor. Second elder spoke. He had great authority here. The divine chains were loosened. The darkness immortal gold armor released dark light, right now extremely mysterious, could be considered immortal Dao weapons, this world's most precious heavenly material. Ka. Pieces of armor were released one after another. That creature didn't resist, remaining calm and tranquil, silently standing in the palace. Truly a rare precious artifact. Shahal sighed inwardly with praise. The black immortal gold armor came off piece by piece, too beautiful. Even though it was pitch black in color, they were covered in the most mysterious patterns. As divine force was imbued, it became sparkling and translucent, becoming even more brilliant than fine jade. En. Shahal was shocked. Was this a woman? This person was extremely beautiful, body long and slender, face exquisite, long golden hair hanging down. As the darkness immortal gold armor was removed piece by piece, this person's true appearance was revealed. No, there's an Adam's apple. Shahal was shocked. It really was rare for a man to be this beautiful, making even many females feel ashamed of their inferiority. From the people he had met in his life, only the white-clothed Ning Chuan could compare, both of them ridiculously handsome, exceeding many of the so-called beautiful young ladies. This creature's body had a golden divine flame jumping around it as if in anger. He didn't feel any good intentions towards the experts of the 9 heavens 10 earths. However, soon after, he became calm again. During this process, the divine flames disappeared. Then, his long hair also changed from golden to pitch black in color. It is like the legends, when the golden blood surges, divine light would rise up in protection, the body and hair all becoming resplendent as if cast from gold. It matches what is recorded about the protectors. An elder said, "Do you recognize him?" At this time, the people in the palace asked Mo Dao again, because they both came from the other side. "I do not, never seen him before." Mo Dao replied like this. Everyone became silent. In reality, they foresaw this result as well. After all, Mo Dao came from the world outside the desolate border, not that true undying world. "What is your name?" Third elder asked. The individual at the center of the palace was tall and slender, hair jet black, eyes like 2 gemstones, carrying divine radiance. His appearance was extraordinary, clearly not some ordinary figure. "Du Gu Yun." He unexpectedly replied. "Are you really the protector's descendant?" First elder continued to ask questions. After hearing this question, Du Gu Yun's eyes looked like they were burning, carrying hatred. His hair completely turned golden in color, releasing cold killing intent. "I only know that my 3 ancestors were harmed by the people of this world, harmed to death by the ones they were protecting." Everyone's expressions went rigid, all of their faces freezing, not knowing what to say. Based on what he said, back then, the protector's bloodline, because of the creatures of this world, died because of betrayal. This truly was a disgrace, even more so an unspeakable humiliation. In reality, in the bone books that were dug up, as well as some long-life families' jade books, there were vague recordings that spoke of how unfortunate the protector's bloodline was, dying tragically in battle or because a few people sold them out. Regardless of what era it is, this can't be avoided. There will always be some without integrity, lacking righteousness, doing things that cannot be forgiven. An elder said. Also, what the creatures from the other side say cannot be fully believed. Another elder added. The deaths of my ancestors, the great hatred, has been passed down in my bones. Du Guyun said, eyes deep, as if he could see events of the past. There are divine consciousness fragments in the golden blood, imprints of my ancestors. I could see the events that happened in the past. He added. When everyone heard this, they were all greatly shocked, all of their expressions changing. The protector's bloodline was astonishing after all, too extraordinary, even able to pass down inheritance in the blood, just too freakish. They finally understood why the golden blood was so powerful. There was a reason behind it after all, the legends not excessive after all. Your ancestors are worthy of respect, even after death, they are matchless heroes. Those people who harmed your ancestors have all returned to Earth. It is useless even if we continue pursuing this. An elder advised. There are some who aren't dead, and they have descendants who are still alive. The reason I have appeared alive is for vengeance. Du Guyun was extremely direct, not hiding anything. Everyone felt a headache. They couldn't allow anything to happen to this youth no matter what, because this might be the protector's bloodline. However, if this youngster wanted to settle accounts, it might involve long-life families. Things would become extremely troublesome then. Even though those things were disgraceful, extremely ugly, they had been buried under time, unable to uncover anymore. At the very least, those long-life families wouldn't be willing. It was rumored that the people back then all died, immortal ancients experts all falling. It was pointless to try and get revenge now. At this time, an elder walked up, apologized to Du Guyun, and then produced a divine needle, piercing his skin and obtaining a few drops of golden blood. The people here were extremely careful. Even if they believed that he was the descendant of the protectors, they still had to verify it, needing direct proof. There were many records in the bone books, numerous methods to verify if it was this unique bloodline. That elder withdrew into the rear palace. There were a few others who followed him, wishing to examine the blood together through ancient methods, verify if his identity was real or fake. Soon after, there was a result. Those elders returned with excited expressions. It's real. Several ancient methods were used, and there was no mistake. Please sit. At this time, those elders all stood up, their eyes burning hot as they examined the protector's descendant, their attitudes becoming completely different. These individuals all felt great respect for the protectors of the last great era, so they naturally treasured their descendant. Even if Du Guyun came from the foreign world, he still had to be treated well. Apart from this, everyone knew that those who had golden blood were known to be unmatched. Once they grew up, their accomplishments would become immeasurable. Even when it was in the past when experts emerged in great numbers, the immortal ancient era, the protector's golden blood was still one of the four most powerful bloodlines. The elders believed that they had ways to correctively influence this person, have his loyalty return to the 9 heavens 10 earths and become an important member in the future battlefield. Even in the worst situation, they had confidence that they could chant a type of ancient scripture together to cleanse his mind, wash away the foreign world's influence, and make his true heart move towards a well-disposed state. Do you all wish for me to stand on the same side as you all in battle, fight with you? Du Guyun asked coldly. Without waiting for their reply, he directly said, "You all have no chance. Compared to that world, the difference is too great, powerless to withstand against them. How will we know without fighting? Do you wish to tell us some of the situation?" Fourth elder said. "The creatures of this world are too weak. Forget about the fact that there is no one who can compare to the undying beings. Even the younger generation are far inferior to those of the other world." Du Guyun said coldly. "Why do you say this? There are few formidable geniuses who are not weaker than the people of that world." An elder shouted loudly, purposely inciting Du Guyun to have him speak more. "Formidable geniuses. Is there anyone who can take a few moves from me, able to contend against my golden blood? I don't think there are many who can. What is the point of these geniuses? What can they do? They can't compare to the other world's ancient emperor clan's youngsters at all." This video will end here.